I have two poems. They're both about anthologies, brand new anthologies. This past August was the 11th year that we've done the August Poetry Postcard Fest. You get on a list, you start writing poems to the person below you on the list. If you get in early, like the 4th or 5th of July, you have 56 days of August. And you have to write 31 poems in that time. And this was created from the 10th anniversary, which was last year's, 2016. And Ina Roy Faderman and Judy Kleinberg were the co-editors with me, and it's a beautiful book. And we're having an Indiegogo fundraiser. You can find out by going to Indiegogo and putting 56 days of August. And this poem that I wrote for Jen Miller of Kenosha, Wisconsin, started with an epigraph from William Carlos Williams. Any Williams fans? One or two? Who shall say I am not the happy genius of my household? The happy genius of this household cooks with his black hat on. Cooks figs he procured from the fig lady, 47th and Adams, to make a grotesque fig jam he'll eat all week, which will smell like summer to him and will be rejected by his daughter, who will prefer a packaged fig bar with sea salt and baking powder. True story. My daughter, 5 years old, and she rejected that. My mom, a week ago, celebrated her 80th birthday in her hometown of Holguin, Cuba. And I have a picture of her visiting my cousin, who's on Facebook in Cuba. I'll just pass this around. My mom at 80 last week. Pass it around. If you lose it, just kind of swipe it.
It looks great.
So I visited Cuba in 2005. And when I visited, my trip didn't go like hers. I was attacked by a Doberman. Not really attacked, bitten a couple of times. I fought it off. And I played baseball. I was watching these guys on the beach in Baradero, and they had a baseball game where they had home plate, first and second. It was only 3 bases. And you took a tennis ball, and you hit it, and if it landed, if it was a hit, you ran. And when I played the field and I got somebody in a rundown, they knew this guy's serious about baseball. So those are referenced in this poem that's going to be published in an anthology called Two Countries, which will be launched tomorrow night at the Hugo House. The book is all from poets who have one parent who's born in another country. So this is a poem called Guanabo Beach, where my cousin lives, and where I found out later my mom and dad spent their wedding night. Guanabo Beach, 2005. It was a Wednesday, 4 destinations. Nilda would feed us ropa vieja better than Miami. Rafael puts on his helmet or cashes in his chits for a lada for a day. We would drive to Cementerio Colon. How a Cuban does this. Here is a stranger, but familia también, on to the city of dead, having workshopped at Miramar and played baseball on the Baradero beach with tennis ball, 3 bases, 1 swig of rum, crossing home with another run. Ron. Each shade of blue off the beach at Baradero, successive and deeper hues to the sky. Y Matanzas, will I ever avoid slaughter? Will the Máscara Ancestrales ever adorn the spot next to Jones Street? Will he ever see the brooks of the mountains, the spot where Rio Guanabo begins? She'll tell stories of Monguilo. Faye grills pork chops at 10:30 p.m. And Buck and the Preacher is a lesson in U.S. history, till the power fails. Homemade miel y jugo de mango, too poor to put in Splenda or corn syrup. Lidia, always with an angle to beat the bus line. Ultimo, one'll say when we are waiting. Permiso, when we want to get off in Havana Vieja. My father, what did he know when he came here except that he could? He did. Got his railroad man's discount, 25% off boat entertainment, Larry F. Troop Storch, and on the beach he knew, like I knew seeing the Rio Guanabo, I wanted to find its source as I found mine in Pinar del Rio. You just know. It's working enough to stain a shirt in tears. Diphtheria, a single parent. Track it down, fend off a Doberman named Lassie with a fist. Go back to Esquina Caliente. They'll remember the gringo, Era El Gringo, who told them about El Duque y Contreras, the marshal, before they won it all on the south side for Los Medias Blancas. That's Spanish for White Sox. In Cuba, we are poor, she says, but we are not beggars. We have a spiritual rhythm. Máscaras, the shape of Norte America. Máscaras to enter los antepasados. Máscaras en blanco y negro pushed by another calm breeze obscured by smoke flavored by the iron content in dirt, earth acting as fire.